Good morning, folks. Welcome in. It is House Edge Live. It's John from, I almost said Programs. John from Casino Gaming Central here. Boy, that's the worst cup of coffee I ever had. I'm just like shaking my head over here. Um, One thing we have here in Vegas, at David's house is instant coffee, which I actually like instant coffee because I grew up with instant coffee. But the water was warm. I didn't get it hot enough because I overslept a little bit and I put way too much in. So it's warm, too strong. Yeah. So didn't do myself any justice this morning. Anyway, good morning and welcome on in. So let's get after it. We've been talking a little bit about kind of this how to win question, right? And I'll reframe it for you here in this opening. Um, Now that I'm down in Vegas for a period of time and I'm working at the shop at Casino Quest, it's really fun actually. 'Cause you're meeting a ton of people down there, and a lot of the new people that come in, a lot of just customers in general come in, and the number one question, of course, they ask as players who want to be trained is how do I win, right? Um, and it's not the easiest question to ask or answer, because our comeback is, well, where are you? Like, what are you buying in for? How long are you here for? Where are you playing? All the things. But really, what it boiled down to for me when I hear people talk about their experiences or what they're about to do is they come at it from two areas, right? One set of people come at this from, I'm coming to town for the weekend. I'm not an experienced gambler. I just want to learn how to play. Like, teach me how to play blackjack so I don't go to the table and make an ass out of myself or get somebody mad, right? That's a big part of it. Some people think that they're great players, like they want the secret sauce. They've been playing long enough. They're tired of losing. They want the secret sauce. Maybe in person, I can get into John's brain or David's brain or Alex's brain or Dennis's brain and figure out the real way to play. Or they want to take that next step to becoming an advantage player. Um, it's There's no easy way to answer the question because there's no answer to that. There is no way to win, right? It's luck. Ultimately, gambling is luck. There are ways to be a better gambler, okay, and that's what our show kind of focuses on. We talk about this kind of stuff all the time, right? How do you be a better gambler? Well, one is knowledge, right? You never forget, right, that the casinos exist to take everything, right? The math is in the casino's favor. They just have it. They have the math. They have the math. No matter how long you stay or how short you play, whatever, they got you on the math. You can't beat them. And in fact, if you do find any kind of advantage, if you're a card counter and you can card counter with bankroll. By the way, one of the things that I get a lot is I want to learn how to count cards. And I will tell you this, and anybody out there in the chat, if you're a card counter, back me up on this. Let me know if you agree with what I'm about to say. You can't count cards. Like, the average person cannot go to a casino and be a card counter and make any money at all. You just can't, right? I've studied enough of this stuff. I've talked to people who do this. It takes a team and it takes hundreds, thousands of hours to do it. Okay. Even if you've got a 20K to buy in with, first of all, that's going to put eyeballs on you. Card counters don't want eyeballs, but you need big money to buy in with, right? You need to spread your bets, right? When you're card counting, when the count's in your favor, you bet spread. You go from $25 to 500, 25 or 100 to 1,000. You got to make massive swings when the count's good. That's why card counters make money. They don't make money because they can predict the future. They make money because the future is good for them, and they have enough money to lean into the future, right? And so card counters make money by making massive sized bets. If you have $1,000 at a $25 table, you can't be a card counter. You can't. And even the guys who are making the massive bet swings, you're talking about 20 to 60 bucks an hour at best. That's what they make. They're not making a ton of money. They aren't crushing for 200 bucks an hour each person. A team of 15 people might be, right? And if one of those people go off on a great variant, they share the money. You're not making money as a card counter, and I get that question all the time. And, what's the method? Don't bother. Don't bother counting cards if you've got this much bankroll. It's a non-starter, right? And the casinos, even if you do count cards, even if you could do it to perfection, if you had the money, here comes the eyeballs. If you actually pull it off, bye, you're out of there. To quote Seattle's mayor, bye, you get to leave. You don't get to play anymore. They will ban you if you get good, right? Don't God forbid become a sports shark, right? If you can really bet sports and use the arbitrage systems and line shopping and all that crap, guess what? They'll limit you, right? I was talking to Alex yesterday about a guy he knows who got limited, right? His personal max bet now is 25 bucks. That's it, right? Once you figure it out, they figure it out. There's no answer to the question, how do I win? The answer to the question is learning how to be a winner. Okay. And there's a little bit of difference to that. And when I say we talk about the bridge and stuff like this, it's this. It's having a relationship with your bankroll, knowing what it's capable of doing, using it to leverage up wins, and maybe a little bit chase some loss, right? Being in touch with your risk, being smart, understanding the games, having intelligence about what's happening and how the game is played, how your bet systems work, right? Having discipline, setting goals, keeping your emotions out of it. All those things, I think, are things that can help you learn how to win better. So when I answer the question, how do I win? We talked about it a couple days ago, which is it's all here, right? It's not having a ton of money. It's not that. There's not some magical system that never loses, because there's not. Even the guys that play these ladders, right? Ken, Dr. S, Waylon will tell you these things go down. And when a ladder goes down, it goes down with a thud. It goes down $10,000, 5,000. It isn't like it's a little fall, right? There is no quote unquote way to do it. And it's not as easy as 1, 2, 3. Yesterday we talked about all the mental stuff, right? And I gave you some exercises to try. We'll try some of them today. It's not going to be easy. I'm not going to necessarily go out here and pump out a big win today, right? But we're going to learn that it's okay to grind, and it's okay to scope a loss. Say, I'm going to bring X. I'm willing to lose that, right? The big thing, I think, is using your bankroll, whatever it is that you're bringing. Use this as a tool. Your bankroll is a tool. Know what you can do with it. So we're going to run out there today in our pressure cooker, and we're going to kind of give it a shot. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and celebrate a little bit here. Let's get my come on picture. Get out of the way. There we go. We'll look at the pressure cooker. I'm going to run a couple of little quick strategies here. A little bit of gameplay. Again, I'm going to be on my craps mat, so I don't really have a whole lot of I don't have a whole lot of room here, and I can't really do that great of a job with rolling tons of numbers. But we're gonna run. We're gonna do a little 3-unit challenge. We're gonna do a little bit of one and done, and we're gonna do a little bit of most of the time betting the unit. These are the things that I was talking about with you yesterday. If you're looking to win $100, bet blacks, right? Or at the worst, bet quarters. Let's try and win 3 or 4 times before we lose, not so much 10 times before we lose. It's almost impossible to win 10 times in a row without losing, right? Dr. S frames it right. To play a ladder, you must expect the loss, right? It's the ratio. You all know I'm good friends with a guy named Tony Leo. He teaches out here in Vegas. His mantra is this 27-3. Win 27 times a little bit. You can lose 3 relatively large times and still be okay. If your ratios are to wins and losses are correct, you can lose 3 times out of 27. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you that out here on the table. Are you ready to go? Let's do it. Let me go out here and switch the screen for us to table mode. We should get color. There we go. No more black and white Johnny. Now, let me show you what this 27-3 thing means, okay? And just, we'll take $500. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, $500. I have four. I only have 4 greens left, so I better do good today, right? Actually, that is $500. I only have is 500. Oh boy, I should get more chips. But if you have, let's say you're buying in for 500, right? And when we say, we're going to buy in for 250 today. We're going to use 10 units, right? Remember the 3. It's if I can count, I'd be dangerous. I swear to God. 10 units. We're going to use 10 units. 250. Wow, my fingers are not good. 100, 250. Okay. Now we can lose, according to Tony, 250 3 times. That's $750. Okay. If we win 3 units 27 times, okay, our ratio would be this. So what's 75 times 27. Whoops, 75 times 27. It's $2,025. Okay, minus the 750 that you lost, right? Minus 750 leaves you, oh, gosh, come on, Johnny. Wow, minus 750. My fingers aren't working. You're left with 1275 for the month. Okay, if you bring 250 and you win 75 like you'd like, right? You'll be up $1,500, right? Setting simple goals can make you a nice little side hustle, right? The thing is, willing to lose the 250, willing to walk with 75. If you can pull that off mentally, you'll be all right. Here we go. Let's get it set up again. There's 1, 2, 50. Let's play a couple of simple little systems here to try and win $75. I'm going to put our money in the cum. That's going to be our bankroll. I don't know where else to put it because I don't have a rack here, but there's our 250, and I'll put our profits over here on this side. So we're going to try and lock up $75. Now, Ken from Ken Knows Gambling will tell you bump on a pickle. Okay, with 250, if I wanted to play the Hedgeless Horseman, which is my favorite strategy, by the way, right? It's a 5-unit strategy. I get 2 cracks at it. Right? I get 2 chances. 125 here and 125 here to play it. But I'm going to play it today. And again, 2 chances I think is not enough. That strategy needs to grind a little bit. But just to give you a sense of what it means to play with your unit size. Okay, here we go. We're going to go with 2 units on the don't. Can you see that okay? Yeah, 2 units on the don't. And where's my dice? And here we go. Again, our rack's over here. We got a 5 for the point. I don't have a number. I'll use the whites. The whites are the point. I don't have a puck. So the 5 is the point. We're going to do 1 cum bet. And we got our 7 out. Now watch what happens. Pay the cum. Pay the don't. We'll put our money back. There's our 500. There's our 1, 2, 3 units in profit. Now, you have to be okay walking away after that. That's a miracle. That's a perfect storm. For this strategy, that's perfection. 1, 2, 3 units, and you're out, right? The idea of quote unquote being a winner is having that winning mentality, right? GTFO, when you make your number and be done with it. Ken talks about this all the time with the envelopes, right? It's envelope time, right? Profit envelope, excess envelope, and off you go. And you keep on rolling it, right? That's a way. Let's do another way. Okay, there's 1 day's wins. I'll put them up here in the DC, actually. We're not going to use the DC today. That's one way of grinding it out, right? Let's go ahead and do a little 2-unit pass line bet now. Okay, we'll do a little 2-unit. I showed this yesterday, a little 2-unit regression. Again, I'm only using 10. So I have five cracks at this. And if I lose one, you'll see the impact. Here we go. Let's come on out. We got aces on the come out, so we lose. We're going to try it one more time. Now watch. To get to a 3-unit win, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have to win 3 units, right? Essentially to get back to where I was, right? There's my 200. I got to win the 2 units back, rather. 2 units got to be won back plus 3. Now I've got to win 5. So the impact of losing is big. Here we go. We got a yo. So we're back in town. Okay. I'm still where I started, so I can't do my regression just yet. Here we go. And there's an 8. That's great. We'll move to the 8. There's a 10. We're just going to try for the 8. That's it. Give me an 8. 6, 4, 10. 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 4. Come on, 8. You can do it. Midnight. 9. Boy, this is a great roll. 6 hard. 8 hard. Here we go. I win 2. I'm going to regress down to 1. There's my money back. There's my first unit in profit. Okay. If I can catch me a come out winner here, we'll be out. 7 on the come out. I win a unit down here, and that's my 3. Okay. Again, I did it. I guess my logo's in the way. There's my 3 units. Okay. But again, we had to grind, right? Another quick session, but you got to grind through it. And again, realize when you lose your first 2, you got to win those 2 back plus your 3. Every loss digs you into the hole. And I think I say this all the time, rack management is one of the keys, right? If you don't know where you are here, and this is a knowledge thing or practice thing, if you don't know where you are in your rack, that move right there wouldn't have worked. Now, again, I've got to be willing to walk out with 75 bucks and go. And again, you might say to yourself, God, I'm not driving to the freaking casino for $75, right? Well, good. I'm using 250 here. I'm using greens at 250. Those could very easily be blacks, and that could very easily be 1,000, which means this is 300. Don't let the color of the chips cloud what you're trying to do. And as I said yesterday, if you're going to practice this stuff, you go to the bubble craft machine and you work with it on white chips, right? And I'm serious about that. Go with $10 in white chips and go win yourself $3 and walk away. Go earn a cup of coffee or a cookie and walk off the machine. Practice it with this, right? Practice these ways of playing. Like, you've never played the Horseman, you never played a Molly, you never played a simple regression on the pass line. If you've never played that before, don't do it at a real table with green and black chips. Go to the bubble and practice. Buy in for 10, win 3, get your card or your ticket. Buy in again for 10, win 3, take your ticket. Practice it. Can you sit at a bubble crafts machine with dollars or at the stadium crafts where it's $3, right? Do you have what it takes to sit there, even in the same session? And I'm talking about buying in for $10, winning your 3, cashing out your card, stand up, touch your toes, stretch your arms out, sit back down, buy in for $10, new session. Can you do that 27 times and lose $10 3 times, right? Win $3 27 times. What does that add up to? 3 times 27. 3 times 27 is $90 or $81. You'd win 81, you'd lose 30, you walk out with $50 with $10, right? Again, practice. And if you can practice with real money, even at this level, you're building muscle. You're building a way to get it done, right? You're building out these cues to yourself that it's okay to leave with money. Give yourself permission to leave with money. Now, the other thing we talked about was betting at level. Betting at level. And again, the level we're trying to win here is 75 bucks. We're trying to win 3. So are you comfortable enough betting a $75 unit to get the same thing done? And again, here we are at the craps table where really to win 75, it's kind of tough with 250, but you can get it done, right? Watch what we're going to do. We're going to let a number come. We're going to try and score here. There's a 6 is the point. Doesn't matter. We're going to go with 250. We're going to go 220 inside. Okay, there's my quarter. We're going to go 220 in. I have 30 bucks. We're going to go 15 to the 4 and 10 just to have something to do. Okay, we've got a point. We have our numbers out here. And again, I'm going to bet in a way that wins me the unit. Now, PSO is going to kill me here. The PSO won us 75 bucks on Monday. Here on Tuesday, Wednesday, the PSO will kill us. But instead, we catch an 8 for 70 bucks. And that, my friends, is close enough for government work, right? 70 is not quite 75, but guess what? I give myself permission to walk away with money. And here's my initial spread. And Johnny is home. Okay? I'm okay getting up out of my hotel room, walking downstairs, winning 70 bucks, going upstairs, dropping off the kids at the pool, going back to bed. I'm 100% down with that. And this little ratio that we got here is a great little ratio. Winning, using 10 to win 3, do it 27 times out of 30, and you'll be okay. But you got to be okay with being okay. And that's the takeaway for today. Be okay with being okay. Find ways that you can either win the unit you're looking for on one roll, whether it's on the, you might want to put $100 on the pass line, right? Throw 75 bucks down there, catch you a little come out 7 and another 6, right? If you can catch a 6 here and you can be out with one shooter, then fine. 5, 10, another 4, 9. Give me a 6, will you? Make this the world's easiest show, right? 7. Okay, we would lose that. Let's try it again. I think this is 75 bucks here, right? That's 50. 75. We'll just go to the pass line with all that. Sorry, I think I was on the don't there, but I meant to be on the pass line. Points 10. Maybe here's one of our days, right? There's a losing day. Last three, can we win? Point's going to be 8, 5, 5, 7 out. So there's a day where it goes bye-bye. You got 1 quarter left. Can you turn it into something? Probably not, but we'll see. We'll play it through. Use the whole 250. 9. Come on. Where's my 8s? Midnight. 7 out. That's it. So there's 3 wins, 1 loss. Okay? That's about the average you're going to see, right? If you can withstand some extra wins, right, before those losses. Now, and again, you got to have 250, enough to play 250 30 times to make this work. Anyway, just having some fun to show you some things. Let's go back over to the other screen again. How do I do that? I want to click this one. There we go. All right. So, a couple takeaways, right? 1, practice playing with 10 and winning 3, right? Witness losing early sucks. If you lose the first one, the battle from behind becomes that much harder, okay? But on the days where you do win, be okay with bugging out. Be okay with winning once and being done. And be okay learning how to bet at the unit size you're trying to win or closer to it than you normally do. People who buy in for 500 and play at a $5 table looking to win $500, never going to happen. It's never going to happen, right? That's the thing. You've got to win so many times. You got to win 100 times more than you lose. When you buy in for 500 and play with nickels, you got to win 100 of them to get to a $500 win. Now, again, some bets pay more than 1-to-1. I get it. But an average, the average bear, and that's before you lose, because every loss sucks off the top there. It's really, really, really hard to do that, right? So practice. I say practice, practice, practice. And if you really want to do this, invest the time it takes to drive and practice. Or get a table like mine, right? You can buy a mat like this for $75 or $50, I think these things are, right? And a couple sleeves of chips, and do it on your kitchen table. Practice, practice, practice the skill of doing it. It's easy at home. It's hard at the casino. It's hard to get out of your hotel room, walk down, do it, and go back. It's really, really hard, trust me. But I have trained for it for my life to do this. I've done it so many times, right? When I was very young, I had no money, but I still wanted to play. I had to play this way to survive a weekend in Atlantic City. When my parents would take us for the weekend and we were stuck there, I had to find ways to do this. And I could turn 100 into 150 with a lot of little tiny short sessions back to back to back to back to back. That's how I did it. So you can do it too. All right. Let's see. Let me go check out if there's any questions here, and then we'll call it a morning. So let's see. Not a lot of people in chat today. We have some people watching, but nobody's really typing, which is okay. Skills that I don't think you can teach someone overnight. You can't. And you're talking about the Casino Quest thing. What we can do in Casino Quest in an hour, right, is give somebody foundation, right? Give them the foundation of here's how basic strategy works and why it works. Like, it's more about, I could teach you in 10 minutes to read the card and say, well, I have an ace-4 and he's got a 6, and you know what I mean? But it's more about why does the card work? Like, basics about why the card works. And really it's about etiquette. Like, here's when you're allowed to bet, here's what you're supposed to say, here's the hand signals, right? That's the reasons why I want to build confidence, right? My job at Casino Quest with the customer is not to teach them, quote unquote, how to win. It's give them confidence to walk up to a table and do it, right? Confidently walk up. Here's when and how I buy in. Here's what and how I say. Here's where the bet goes. Here's why the card works. And then if I catch a win or two in a row, here's a little press regress method, right? That's the best you can do. And really what that does, the person goes, okay, I'm fine with giving this a try now, right? That's what you want to do. You can't teach them how to play. You can give them confidence to walk in there, at least having a new tool, which in some cases in blackjack is the card. In craps, it might just be a little bit of a system, a tiny, tiny, tiny little system they can use to get started, to experience the game with little to no risk. That's kind of the thing. So there it is. That's why skill. It takes time, like you say, to know how to play. And that's why I say, go buy yourself a mat. Go online, buy a little craps mat or a roulette mat or whatever game you play. Buy a mat for it. Buy yourself some chips and buy yourself some cards and play. Just sit here and do this all day long, right? Do this all day long. And I can tell you, When you have only 10 chips and you put 3 of them on the line, like I did here, unless you get lucky out of the gate, probably not going to be your day. Really hard to grind back and fight without a ladder, for sure. So, um, Biff, you have to be so focused on count. Here's my card counting, and the dealers will screw you up. They'll start chattering. They're trained to ask you like where you're from, get your family here, and you're trying to keep the count. It's trust me, it's done. You make that big bet swing, and it's bye bye for sure. Um, let's see. Who else is saying something here? AI image generators. No, yeah, you're right. You're laughing at my pressure. AI image generators never get the dice right. People can't get them right. When I was doing the logo for Crouch for the Cure, like with the dog and everything on it, I had to send that logo back to the designer probably 6 times to get the dice right. I actually took a picture. I said, "Look, here's what I want." I set it up with Chiro's. Where's my yo? With a yo like this, and I held the dice in my hand, and I said, "Look, I want it to look like this." Or where's the 5? I want it to look like this, right? Exactly like that, right? And I gave him a picture with my hands turned all the ways, so he got all the dice right. It's hard getting dice right. It's crazy. Um, what do we say to people who want to know what is the best for the amount of hits? Well, that's for you to say. I would say less than 5. Like to me, 2, 3 hits, starting at 0, at most 2 to 3 hits, I want to be out. Right? And remember, if you're playing in craps, being out of the hand, right, means you're even on the table. That's 100% of your spread. So if you took $100 onto the table, and in 2 hits, you made enough money to pay for the $100, so you're playing for free, you've made $100. So if your goal was to win $100, you already did it. You don't have to sit there and keep playing. And that's the thing. Craps players are a different breed. Craps players are looking for the long roll home run. Every other game, it's win by win by win. Craps is the one animal that's different, where the opportunity is very, very different. So they should be asking me, how do I play? Not how do I win? How do I play? How do you play the game? How do I play, quote unquote, like a pro? And that's the thing. It's etiquette. It's the rhythm, knowing the rules. It's how do I play, not how do I win? And I think that's the problem. People come in a lot of times after they've already lost a lot of times, and they want to change losing. Losing, there's no system to make you win, right? There's mental games you can play to help you A, enjoy the experience better, and B, be okay with winning when you are, even if it's a little bit. That's the shift that folks have to make. So let's see. I know you do. JR plays a patient asymmetric turret attack. I love your wording, man. That's awesome. Biff says if you want to try blackjack, knowing the risk, you can contact CEG or Blackjack Apprentice. They're great. Black BJA. I'm trying to get with Colin, by the way. He's a good guy. I've emailed him a few times. I'm trying to get him on the show. They got their own thing going on. You know what I mean? But he'd be a fun guy to just talk to and have on as an interview. Would love that. Um, yeah. What else do we have here? There is a secret sauce. Take the small win and walk. That is the secret sauce, right? Win more than you lose. Win more often than you lose, and win enough when you do win that when you do lose, it doesn't get completely gobbled up. That's the idea. Um, so yeah, what else do we have? Did the drive to casino 3 hours away and left with $120 in 2 hours. Drove back 3 hours. It's tough. It's really really hard to do that. I'm in the same boat. I'm 2 hours away from the casino, right? So for me to do this, right, to go with $10 and win 3 would never pay for the gas, right? But again, I've already done the training. When I was doing this, I was in Jersey. I was 30 minutes from Atlantic City, so I could drive a half an hour. And at the time, I was winning $10. Take 100, win 10. Take 100, win 10. That's what I was doing to learn systems. So anyway, I wonder how many people will really pick it up when I'm laying down. Probably not a lot, but you know what? If one person does, I was talking to a guy yesterday at the shop, and it's I do this show, and he's like, "How many subs do you have? And how many people watch your shows?" I'm like, yeah, I get maybe 40 people watching in the mornings, which is great. Um, but if it's 40 people every day, right, and if 5 people are new out of the 40 every day, or if like 10 new people watch that hadn't watched before on the replay, if one of those people goes, oh, okay, and they try it and they figure out like a way that it works, That's the entire purpose of the channel. I really, like I said, I don't ask you. We have super chats, we have memberships. I never ask for it, right? If somebody tosses me a membership or a super chat, it's fantastic, but that's not why I'm doing this. I do this because I want to. I want to put it out there. And if every day one person hears it and does something good, then fantastic. That's the point of doing the damn channel. That's the whole point of the channel, is to have touch somebody some way in a good way. Not, you know what I mean? Touch them in a good way. That's really what I'm after. So yeah. Um, if you can become a professional poker player and a professional craps impossible, why are we playing craps? Because it's fun. That's the only reason why. Again, unlike other games, now poker notwithstanding, and sports betting, you can get some home runs. But every other game, you know what I mean? It's a roulette. Every spin's an outcome. In blackjack, every hand. In baccarat, every hand's an outcome. In poker, you can get big swings, right? You can grab a pot, and grabbing a big pot will make up for a whole lot of small losses, right? When you're dumping the blind, right, 10 times in a row, but then you catch a big all in. That's where poker gets the swing, right? Craps creates big swings, big opportunity, and there's nothing like that opportunities. And so, for example, if you can win, like I'm saying, take 10, win 3, take 10, win 3, and you get some excess. Maybe you win 4 a couple days in a row. Maybe what you did won you 4 or 5 units, right? Maybe you hit the horseman and whatever. You can take swings in craps that are different than other games. And when the good roll happens and you're on it and you're at a swing or you catch an ATS for some reason, I'm not sure why you're playing that, but that makes the game more exciting. And those bigger wins can gobble up a lot of small losses in one shot. You can't have one of those big swing wins in blackjack unless you go 6-leg parlay. You know what I'm saying? But in craps, you had this weird opportunity that no other game gives you, and it's social, right? There's no professional craps players. It can't be done. It just can't be done. Other games, it's possible. Craps, though, what you can do in craps that other games can't do is have that enormous swing. You can turn 500 into 5,000 in craps if you happen to be there on the day and at the time when that roll happens. And every dealer will tell you, every dealer I've ever talked to will tell you, on every shift, that roll happens. Every dealer sees it every day. There's always the 30 roller or a 35 or a 40. Every day, every shift, every dealer sees it. You're just never there when it happens, right? You got to be on the, on the cusp of time. You better walk in with that when that's going on. So, yeah, craps is just the game of choice because we love it so much. So, yeah. Let's think about that, Duracell. How many rolls is a player at a table for over a lifetime? Let's just say that you're at a table and there's, let's just say there's 8 people. Let's just say it's an average size. There's 8 people at a table, okay? And you're there for 1 round. So it starts in the hook and it goes around 1 time, right? So that's 8 people, and the average person, the average roll is 8.5, right? So 8 times 8.5, let's just do it. 8, you can't see my screen. 8 times 8.5 is 68, okay? Let's say that you do 68 rolls every time you go to the table. Let's say that the average person goes once a week. Let's just pretend you're a degenerate, right? So 68, let's do 68 times 52. That's 3,500 rolls in a year that you probably see. Okay, and again, we're going light, right? Once around a table, once a week for a year, 3,500 rolls a year. I've played for 30 years. 35. Let's just do 30 as an 35, but 30 over 30 years, I've seen 106,000 rolls according to the basic math. Okay, I'll put that in chat. 106,000 rolls, right? If you're playing an average once around the table, once a week, every week for 30 years, it's about 100,000 rolls. Okay, most people that play more regularly probably see more than that. That's a good number to, we can use the number from now on, 100,000. We'll just say, I know we're buffering bad. We'll use we'll use 100,000 as our number. Okay. That's a good answer. Okay. We're buffering. I probably should stop. Losing some internet here. I'm not sure why. So, all right, I'm going to get out. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Have a great day. Love y'all. God bless. Bye.